Okay, noise. So over here, I actually got a scene prepared for us over here with a UV sphere with a universal texture. Now, what options do we have for the noise? So let's go Shift A, search, and I'll just type in noise. So we have the FBM noise, the cell noise, the fractal noise, the noise texture, FBM flow noise, the cinema 4D noise. You heard that right, the cinema 4D noise. Then the fractal flow noise. Mainly, we are going to be focusing on cinema 4D noise, the noise texture, and the fractal noise because these three are the one that are being used the most. So let's start with cinema 4D noise. So this is the node. I'll just plug it in so we could see it better. Let's start from the top. Over here we have the power. Then we have the noise type. Like what sort of a noise are we willing to get out? And this has like a lot of presets that we could toggle around with. But first things first, before we use this node, what we are going to be doing is we're going to be opening up the projection and the UV transform so we could control the noise better. And then coming towards use 4D noise. If we click it, it will take our whole object and it will symmetrically distribute the whole noise onto our object, regardless of the shape. So I'll just put it down in size so we could see the whole noise. Like if I turn it off, we could see we're getting a lot of stretching on this part. But as soon as I click on use 4D noise, it's suddenly gone. And we also have another toggle over here called absolute. If you click it, it gives us another variation of the same noise. So let's explore what sort of noise types do we have. So if I hold control and scroll over here, we could see we have a lot of good noises over here. Ooh, I actually like this one. Luca. We're going to be using this one for our example. So if we take the octaves, you see, it's taking one layer of the noise and we could completely either eliminate it or just expand it up. So if I press backspace, it will go towards the default state. I don't know how to pronounce it. Liquidity. It's not doing anything for this noise, but it does something for the other one. The gain, we also have that. And then we have the T value. So what is the T value? T value is basically like the W value in other noise in cycles. So if we just take it, we could reshape the noise as we want. Or heck, we could even animate it if we have to. Absolute, we already just saw what it does. Then we have the sample radius. How many samples are we willing to give it? Let's say if we want to give it a sample radius of 10, we could do that. Then the random seed. So pretty self-explanatory. So what are the practical examples for this? So if we go back to our universal material and I just plug it in towards our bump, and I'll have to increase it a bit so we could see it better. We could use it as a bump. We could also use it as our roughness. Not too much visible, but hey, it's there. And we could also plug it in to our displacement. So yeah, there are like a lot of things that you could do with noise. Okay, now moving on towards our second noise, which is gonna be fractal noise. Oh, and by the way, you might be seeing I'm just clicking it and it's giving me the preview. Basically, I'm using Node Wrangler, and if you guys want to download Node Wrangler for Octane, the link's in the description. So let me just open up UV transform and projection. So let's explore what do we got. The mode, secular and vector. So in vector, we could use it as like a normal map if you want to, but in secular, it's pure black and white. And we're going to be keeping it towards that. The time, we could easily animate it. This is sort of similar to turbulence displays if you've ever used After Effects. The octave, the distortion, the liquidity. I butchered it again. My apologies. The gain, turbulent. It turns the turbulent. And also we have the colors. So with this node, what you could do is also change the color of it. Let's say this should be red and this one should be blue. And because of the mixing, we're getting this sort of a shade. So we could directly plug it into our albedo. So yeah, you can make something pretty cool out of this as well. Now moving on towards our now moving on towards our next noise, the noise texture. This is something similar to the Cinema 4D noise. The UV transform projection will open up this first. So we have the power, the noise type. We got like a couple of noises with this one. We have the octaves, the omega, we have the gamma, and the contrast. And we could obviously invert the noise if we have to. Alrighty, so why I'm saying you should only master these three noise is because of one reason. All of the combination of any sort of noise are made with these. So even if you master like Cinema 4D noise, dude, you'll be off good. You can make any sort of noise pattern that you want to. I mean, just look at this, how big of a library of noise you get, and multiply it by 2, because you could always click on absolute and get a completely different pattern as well. So let's do a quick recap. So in this chapter, we actually looked at all of the noise patterns that everyone should learn. And in the next chapter, we're going to be discussing about lights. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next chapter.